level. So here's this 17-year-old kid whose lack of situational awareness, whose lack of, I don't even know how to say this. First of all, he had no business. I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like he had any business being there.
Well, no, now he's 17 years old and with a firearm, right there, right off the bat, he's wrong.
Yeah, off the bat. But so I don't blame him though. I don't blame the 7. Now this is what I don't blame the 7. I blame the adult.
I blame the mom. I blame the mom and dad on that all day long.
Yes, I blame the adult that gave this kid a weapon. Told him, okay, for you to go across state line to go defend something that's not even yours.
Right, and then to get involved in all those shootings. I guess he shot and killed or shot 3 people.
Yeah.
That's just okay. Look, it's just wrong from the very beginning. I don't care what anyone says.
No, it's wrong, completely wrong. But that's this what I said about leadership, right? People say, well, he's a Trump follower. He's this. I said, I don't care what he followed. I'm looking at leadership. Leadership is detrimental. This is a prime example of how leadership fails here. Right? He's wrong because somebody planted something in his head, and then you have a dog that kind of followed through with it and said that, oh, it's okay. Here's an AR. Go out and you have the right because you feel like, I said this for American. I'm an American and I have the right. I said, first of all, it's not your property.
Yeah, well, it's just that's a parenting issue. All right, and no matter what seed was planted in the parents' minds, it's just a totally wrong thing to do. All right, it's just totally wrong. All right.
Now,
so I mean, granted, you may not agree with what someone else's belief system, and that's fine. But for you to go across state lines with a gun, you're underage. Not supposed to have that gun. That gun's almost like a straw purchase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for that kid to do what he did, man, the parents need to be held accountable for that stuff. Okay, mom and dad, like I said, mom and dad really need to be held accountable for that, right? As well as the kid.
I truly believe that. Now, the other pushback I've gotten with some people I interacted, saying that, well, look how he walks up to the police and people say he killed people and the police waved at him, gave him a high five and gave him water. What is your take on that?
Right by him. Right. We know about the fog of war.
Yeah.
We know about the fog of war.
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes but it seemed like he was pretty calm through that entire episode. He was very calm. Even when he shot the wrong guy at first, he shot the guy in the head.
Yeah.
Right? He went back to check on him. And then he took off running and they knocked him down and he shot 2 more of them. And then he went to flag the police down because actually police were coming. But, I guess the police didn't see him because they still heard gunshots. There were still gunshots, and they were going towards the gunshots. And
and you know what, Chris? I said this, and a lot of people pushed back on me this past, about yesterday or the day before, because for limited time, I'll let you explain what the fuck a war but that's what I try to tell people. I say I don't think that those guys in those first of all, we have those vehicles, and those vehicles are pretty loud,
right?
And your orientation in those vehicles are geared towards where the instant contact is. So. Right. Yeah, and that was my side. I don't think the police ignored him. It's the fact that, yes, he's white. Well, he's white. They didn't shoot him. I said, no. The police hear gunshots.
Right.
And that gunshot.
Right. And their job is to stop the shooting. If they're shooting, their job is to stop the shooting and make sure everything's okay.
Yes.
Right.
And I get some of the my brethren that argue with me, I give him, I say, listen, I understand. Yes, Dylan Roof, he killed 9 people in the church, and then some moron went and bought him a hamburger. Right? He was captured, they didn't kill him. They said, well, if he's black, they would have killed him. This is such a difficult thing to explain to people sometimes. I say, listen, I don't know how to, I mean, listen, I'm a very empathetic person. I don't have a lot of, I keep my emotions in check. It does hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. It does hurt to see a guy, another grown man put a knee on another grown man. I don't care what he did wrong. You know, it hurts to see that, right? Because if you're a person, even if you're a police officer, I don't care what they've done. You put a knee on them. I mean, I see now if you're fighting somebody, because I've been there, got into a physical fight with the Taliban or insurgent in Iraq or Afghanistan. You know what I mean? Because now you're fighting for your life. That's a completely different context. But in the context, somebody's being on the ground, you put your knee on them for 8 minutes, and the guy's telling you. I mean, if you're empathetic with a person, that ought to tell you know what, I'm gonna get you up, because at that point it's 4 or 5 of you. I got that. But the fog of war and understanding when somebody's shooting and you're trying to kind of quell and calm everything down and to kind of sort things out, I completely understand. But it's hard to explain to people that, because it occurs all the time. Because I mean, I've seen it, you know, where a white guy would talk all kinds of shit and the police would, and then a black guy would do the same thing. And we already touched on this. And the black guy will get the brunt of the police force, you know. But my thing is this. Does the police have first of all, when those guys showed up in Wisconsin, saying that they're going to come protect property, I think the sheriff failed the community. I really think, and this is my opinion, Chris, I feel like the sheriff, because you know what? Because he failed to recognize that the flashpoint for letting those guys walk around long gun is right there.
Right.
See what I mean? And I'm gonna put, so Chris, I'm telling. So I also blame the sheriff in this situation, because those guys were in town two days or so, saying that they're going, and he allowed them to. I mean, I know it's an open carry state, but I think the sheriff has a lot of leeway to see that, hey, wait a minute, this might be a flashpoint. Because guess what you have? You have protests on one end, and then you have guys with long guns on one end, and you have people in the middle that just take advantage of the situation to loot and riot.
So
that has nothing to do with
you're looking into a crossfire. That's pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah. So I think the sheriff should have kind of taken control and said, all right, guys, look, I appreciate you guys coming. I know you guys want to do something, but I don't need you here right now. You know, I don't need you guys right now, because it's just going to create a situation where if something happened, I won't be able to react, because now you guys going to be involved in the middle. And I think that is a leadership failure by that sheriff. Plain and simple. People want to disagree with me, guys. Go ahead and put all the comments you want. But that's a leadership failure. I pointed out on both ends. Our end, their ends. I mean, what's your take, man? What's your take on that?
It's kind of, I mean, since I'm not there, I mean, you have to understand there's a whole lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's the commanders, the sergeants, the lieutenants that are on the ground there at that time that are relaying the information back to the sheriff so he can come back and say, hey, look, this is what needs to be done. You see what I'm saying? So, and from that aspect, I see what you're saying, but it's the people there on the ground that, like I said, are relaying that information back to the sheriff, you know, for him to sit there and say, okay, look, this is going to be our next course of action, so this stuff doesn't happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when he came out and said, hey, you know what, those people that got shot, if they weren't out at that time of night, that wouldn't have happened. Okay, wow. Listen, granted, that's a true statement. But at the same time, place responsibility and hold hold those people accountable for their wrongdoings. Okay, everyone's wrong. Okay, not just the people that got shot, the kid with the gun, the parents. Hold everyone accountable for their actions. Hold everyone responsible for their actions. It's not. It wasn't just it takes two people to tango. It wasn't just one person doing something. It was everybody doing stuff. You see, so you have to hold everyone accountable and everyone responsible. And I just totally agreed with that statement that came out of that sheriff's mouth. I'm just like no,
Yeah.
that's wrong.
And Chris, you're 100%. Like I said, I'm a logical, non-emotional. I keep my emotions in check type of dude. And I agree with you on the aspect that there's a lot of people did a lot of wrong stuff.
Right.
A lot of people. But like you said, it goes back to the parenting of that young man to think that he had the audacity to pick up a weapon to go and say, I'm gonna go police an area that has nothing to do with you. So that's number one off the bat. So I'm totally agreeing. And then the sheriff, there's those statements. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is what happened when you're tribal, And I can see it from both ends. I can see it from, this is not a racial thing. I can see it from both ends. I can see the fog of war because I've been there, I've seen it. I know it occurs. It's a true thing. It happens, because you can be tunnel vision and focus on the gunfire. That's it. That's all you see, and that's all you, because the training, and I'm not a police, you know this better than me, but this is just from a training aspect that you can focus on one thing and ignore everything else at that point.
And Manny, you're, like I said, you're 110% correct. I mean, you could be more spot on than that statement that you just said.
So let me ask you this then. So now that this racial, I hate to say, this tribal war, I'm gonna say tribal war, being stoked by people who stand to benefit. What is our path forward? How do we de-escalate and kind of get both tribes to sit down and have a dialogue without being emotional, yelling at people, without calling people?
Honestly, that is not gonna happen with people today. I am so serious. Everyone is so emotional. Everyone gets butt hurt over everything that you say, no matter what you say to somebody. I ain't like this. You can't say this. You can't say that. It's a no-win situation, So people trying to sit down and not get angry and trying to ration out things, trying to be reasonable, logical, and analytical. No, especially when you're dealing with groups of people that, like, these groups, they're actually being funded by whomever, and they're getting paid to go out there and do that stuff. So a lot of this stuff is based upon economics too, though. You see what I'm saying? It's not really based upon it's someone else's agenda, and it's almost like a proxy war. You see what I'm saying?
I laugh because you use that word. It's funny you said that. Like when Minnie said, I'm like, yeah, because I know what proxy wars are.
Right.
I think I'm actually very, very good at those type of things. But right. I leave it alone, man. I'm just laughing.
Right. So it's really not sometimes about emotion. It's about other people's agendas and what they want to get done.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess groups like, I guess we call it Antifa or Black Lives Matter, they're not trying to sit down and discuss anything, because whoever funding them is like, okay, here's my end state, get to it. I don't care how it gets done, just get it done. You see? So there's not going to be, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk. The person that's funding them or the group that's funding them might sit there and be like, we don't want you to talk to anybody. We don't want you to, there will be no logical discussion or anything like that. We want done what we want done, and just get it done our way.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Black Lives Matter. Because I think people have to understand. You have to separate. So this is another area where I am. I do believe that everybody has an agenda. Everybody has a motive, an end state that may not necessarily align with my end state or your end state, or even the benefit of Black people's end state, right? But I just want to, and I'm going to interject in this one, Chris. I want us people to understand that, okay, when I say Black Lives Matter, they have an end state or somebody supporting them. I think there's an entity that use that word Black Lives Matter that have their own agenda and there's money behind it somehow, somewhere. And then there's the actual people who are on the street, like I said. Just like I talked about the end fact earlier about, that how people join an organization or join a movement with pure heart because they want to make change. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to separate those two. Yes, I mean, I know everybody use that word, Black Lives Matter, but yeah, there's somebody's pulling the string somewhere. But I think there's also people who walk down the street who, because I'm telling you, I have a family member that's never involved themselves in anything, but they were willing to go out here during the riots and protest, some of the peaceful protests out here that we're using that slogan to embolize that, you know what, I've had enough, So, like I say, I can put myself in both ends. What you're saying, Chris, is 100% right. There's somebody pulling strings. But I just want people to understand that you have to learn to separate things, right? Even when people are protesting, there are people who show up in those protests just to, like Antifa, just to start. And then there's what I call double agents.
Mm-hmm.
All right, people don't understand this. Trust me, I know this, and I'm not gonna get into all because people always conspiracy. No, there are people, what I call double agents, that show up on a peaceful protest because there are people who just genuinely want to see a change. Now, do I think going down the street protesting make change? I said no. I said there's other tools we can use, but sometimes you have to. What my lady said, you have to. What is it? Exhale. Sometimes you gotta release. I understand. I completely understand that. But people we have to understand. They're the umbrella name, but they're entities that you have to separate the pure heart people, and then people will have ulterior motives. So
I agree, and that's something that you have to really take a look at, and then take a look at in depth.
Still there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I mean, you're right, man. But you know what, Chris? But this is it's been an educational podcast, man. I really, truly, truly appreciate you taking your time.
Yeah.
Or we can just talk about things, and and kind of gives me a little bit of different perspective and looking at things also.
Right.
Like as you know, I don't. I mean, I know my friend. I say I'm apolitical. A lot of people go, "What do you mean you're apolitical?" I said, "No, just because I say I'm apolitical, it just means that I've taken the emotions out of my decision making about things."
Right.
All right. I am here to affect change because I have a wealth of knowledge that I'm trying to give without me having to yell, without having to scream this, saying that, we're gonna go back to Africa. Man, I'm already African, so I was there. But I mean, I'm joking. I take this. Sometimes you have to have some fun, poke fun at yourself, right?
Right.
So people something, and because I get bombarded with a lot of, well, you're different, you're this. I said, no, I'm not different. At the end of the day, I'm a black man. I want to see all my black men, black people, my tribe. I want to see my tribe. I am tribal. Because I tell people I'm apolitical, I am tribal. But I'm not tribal to the detriment of the next tribe.
Right.
Because I know for my tribe to flourish, the other tribe has to flourish. Because guess what happened? You know this, right? If my tribe flourish and the other tribe doesn't flourish, what do you have, Chris?
War.
Because they're going to come over across your border.
Right, because they want what you have.
There it is. And then the other tribe, same thing applies to the white tribe. You want to let the black tribe flourish, because together that brings these United States to a potential of output that is equal second to none on this planet ever seen on this planet. I mean, people, we don't know how much money we are wasting on this tribal stovepipe that we're fighting. All right. So for any one tribe to flourish, other people may think their tribe is flourishing, but really you're not. You know, you're not. For a tribe that occupy the same space,
best to share. Yeah, you best to share.
Yeah, we have to. And for me, at the end of the day, when I look at this, you know, I'd say, yes, I'm tribal. Not because I dislike you. No, I want you to succeed. I'm tribal because I have commonality with these people, or my tribe, you know. We play soccer together. But I'm open for you to come play soccer with me. Just like if you allow me, I'll come play football with you. You see? So definitely it's been a mind opening, and I'm continuing to push the local change. I mean, and people and my earlier podcast about the NFAC and leadership, somebody asked me what I do. I mean, Chris, locally here, I help guys that have done, you know, when they were younger, maybe they were in college, they committed something to get their gun rights. Because, you know, gun rights and voting rights go together, right?
Right.
So I've helped. So that's one of my push locally here. I don't advertise on my YouTube channel. I don't really say it. I think Laura, she's the one that actually, you know, somebody wrote that, you know, what do you, I say, I do a lot. I don't put on YouTube channel. I don't rock around my YouTube channel. You know, this is the educational channel. But I do help a bunch of guys here locally here in Georgia and still in Atlanta to get their gun rights back. And that gives them their voting rights. That's what I do. I educate people, and I do that for free. I do the research for them. I help them, tell them what they need to do. We write the letters. We send them to the governor, you know. And that's something, to me, it's something I give back to this nation that's given me so much.
There you go.
This nation has given me so much. Yes, I've had run-ins with the police, but not because I'm a criminal per se. I've never committed. Well, I guess if you speed, you committed a crime, right? Come on, man. You're a cop. You know. You're a cop. So I'm guilty, man. I speed. Okay, I like to drive fast. I have fast cars. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing at a local level, teaching our young men. I volunteer at schools. I'm teaching young men. I have my own shooting area. I'm trying to get young guys and teach them about weapons training, because it's not about the weapons training itself. It's the mental frame of mind that it gives you.
Right.
Yeah, it gives you a mental frame of mind and understanding. So that's what I'm doing, giving back. So all these people that say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," yeah, maybe you're right. Who knows? Yeah. But Chris, it's been an amazing time, my friend. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries, man. Thank you for having me on your show.
I know you're a busy guy. I know you have a lot going, and continue doing what you're doing, protecting this nation. I know that you do. I've seen you in action, and I'm continuing to do that. I mean, I'm no longer an action guy, but hey, I'm an action guy in my mind still. You know,
yeah, right.
I can still go out. I can still go out of range and put the best around with anybody.
Yeah, right, brother.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on your show, man. I greatly appreciate it.
Anytime, man. And like I say, one of these days, if I can get you to come down there, we'll hit the range, and we will, you know, we'll put some, you know.
Yeah. Bring those in. Bring some of your people down. We'll really teach them how to shoot, how it's really done, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to teach them how to shoot. We'll teach them how to fight. You know, we're gun fighters.
You're right. It's not even about the shooting.
We're not shooters. We're fighters.
Just learn. Like I said, but you know, and I'm gonna say this, right? They're not going to. They're gonna get back on here and call me all kinds of names and go at me. But you know what? That doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
At all. I don't.
Stones, bro. Sticks and stones.
Yeah, you know me. You already know, man. Trust me. I've sat across a guy who's drank shitty water tea, talking to him, and he's planning to kill me. While I'm talking to him, he sent his cousin to put a bomb on the road. set up an ambush. So you think I'm worried about somebody, what they call a YouTube Taliban?
Exactly, right?
I'm not worried about that stuff like that. So, but if anyone is willing to have a constructive talk, and this is open to everybody, we can go at it. We can agree to disagree, because I'm not, like I said, I have my feelings, not feelings, but I have my thoughts in my own mind and how I see things. And at the end of the day, we're all trying to get the same end state, and sometimes we don't have to take the same road to get there. All right, guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen that are listening, if you guys want to join this podcast and you have something constructive for our tribe, so we can move this tribe forward, go ahead and send your information at info, that's INFOR, at diplomatguns, guns with a Z, .com. All right, and it's flashing below the screen. Go ahead and send your information. And for those, if you love what you heard, the exchange between me and Chris, please subscribe, like, share this video with all your friends, and join us for the next podcast. And like I said, we get better and better at this. I mean, this channel is for our tribe, so we can learn some stuff. All right, so I'm gonna bring subject matter expert, because I'm not an expert in everything. Yes, I got 10,000 hours in things, but I'm gonna seek those that do these things and understand and bring them in to kind of discuss things, so they can challenge me and push me. In turn, I can challenge you guys that follow us and subscribe to our channel and challenge you guys. All right. So please support the channel so we can do this thing again. All right. So Chris, my friend, and like I said, we got Chris information. It'll also be down in the what is it called? Hello, what is that called? It'll be down in the notes section. So how to get hold of Chris. Chris is a great dude, man. Great wealth of knowledge. Guy knows a lot. I've seen. I know. He has a T-shirt, and his T-shirt is real. I have several T-shirts. I just don't wear them. But by the way, I'm wearing this one today. If you like the T-shirt I'm wearing, just like I said, just reach out to us at info@diplomatguns.com and so you figure out how you get this T-shirt. It's got the DGZ logo on it. It's got the same for Mandela. I never lose. I either win or learn. It's not right, Chris. We never lose.
That's it, brother.
We never lose. If we don't win, we learn something.
No, wait. We always either win or we learn.
Or we learn.